Starting us off, I'd like to introduce the chairman of the Randall R. Kendrick Institute and Senior Vice President of Supply Chain Operations and U.S. Retail Supply Chain at Starbucks to say a few words, Carl Mount.
I think I come back every year just to hear Wink kick us off, because it is a hard act to follow. Thank you, Wink. Well, good morning, everybody. This is the last time we were. It's so good to be in person. It's been 2 years since I've been in this room, and it was fuller the last time, but we were limited to a couple hundred people today. And to all of you that are online, what a thrill it is to be in person, even wearing a mask. I was just in one of our plants on Thursday of last week, and we have to wear these masks in our plants. The workers out on the production floor in our warehouse, they're wearing them 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day to keep themselves safe. So it's the least we can do to be wearing masks in here today. Again, my name's Carl Mount. I go by the pronouns of he and him. And I get the privilege of leading this year and next the board that advises the Institute. Still getting used to the change between Summit and Institute, so I might stumble a few times on that. But we are so honored to be able, as industry leaders, to support the program at USC. I'm an alumni of the Marshall School, an undergrad alumni, so it's a kind of a two-win whammy for me that I get to give back to the university that I love so much, but at the same time support the industry that has taken 30 years of my career, and I loved every minute of it. So if there are other board members that are in the room, would love for you to stand up just a second. I know this was not announced, but I would love to introduce you to some of my other board members as well. Give them a hand. And there's certainly other board members that are online as well, because we've got probably over 1,000 people that are participating virtually. As I think about the theme of this year's conference, Summit, last year we talked a lot about what COVID was doing to us in the midst of the biggest portion of COVID, the downturn of the economy. But when I think about reimagine, reinvent, resilient, the new realities, boy, who would have thought that all three national news networks last week would have supply chain as their starting story of the evening? Two of our board members getting front and center, Nick getting quoted, Gene, the Port of LA, Noel with the Port of Long Beach being interviewed. Who would have thought that? But I can tell you in my 30-year career in supply chain, the last 6 months have been some of the most challenging. There have been some days that I've gone home and banged my head against the wall. Well, I was already at home because I was working virtually, but banged my head against the wall because it didn't seem like anything was going right. But the reality is we're going to get through this. It's going to take us a little bit of time because we're resilient. So when we think about the theme of this conference, you're going to hear a lot about resiliency and what does it take for us as supply chain professionals to take us into this next era, the next decade of where we're going.